Have you ever woken up from a dream so vivid that you actually had to double-check if it really happened? Maybe you were flying through the sky, running late for a test you never studied for, or having a full-blown conversation with a celebrity. Dreams can feel so real that sometimes your brain doesn't even know the difference. But why? Why do dreams feel just like real life, even though they're all in your head? Let's dive into the fascinating science behind it. Welcome to vidIQ and Vero, where we explore the mysteries of the mind and the science that shapes our world. What happens when you dream? When you fall asleep, your brain doesn't just turn off. It enters a fascinating cycle called REM sleep, short for rapid eye movement. During this stage, your brain activity actually looks almost identical to when you're awake. The same regions that process emotions, memories, and sensory experiences light up like fireworks. Your visual cortex, which helps you see things, your amygdala, which processes emotions, and your hippocampus, which handles memories, are all active during dreams. The only real difference is that your prefrontal cortex, the logical and reasoning part of your brain, goes partially offline. That's why you can believe totally weird things in dreams, like your dog speaking fluent French or your old math teacher turning into a dinosaur. Your brain doesn't question it because the part that does the questioning is half asleep. Your brain simulates reality perfectly. So why do dreams feel so real? Because your brain uses the exact same neural circuits for dreaming as it does for real experiences. When you dream of running, your motor cortex, the part that controls movement, actually activates as if you were physically running. The only thing stopping you from acting it out is your body's built-in safety mechanism called rematonia, which temporarily paralyzes your muscles so you don't act out your dreams. Meanwhile, your visual cortex paints images so realistic that your mind fully believes them. It's like your brain is the world's best movie director, using memories, emotions, and sensations as raw material to create a 3D immersive experience. Except you're both the audience and the main character. The role of memory and emotion, one of the main reasons dreams feel so real, is because they tap directly into your emotional memory system. Your amygdala is very active during dreams, especially in emotional ones, like when you're being chased or falling endlessly. These strong emotional cues make the dream experience more intense and lifelike. Your brain also blends short-term and long-term memories, which is why dreams can mix up your past and present. You might dream of your childhood home with people you met last week. It feels perfectly normal while it's happening because your brain is pulling pieces from your memory bank and stitching them together like a surreal patchwork quilt, and your sleeping mind just goes along with it. The lack of logic makes it feel real, ironically. The reason dreams feel so convincing is because your logic is turned off. When your prefrontal cortex powers down, you stop doubting things. So even if you suddenly find yourself fighting a giant cookie or floating in space, it feels completely natural. Your brain accepts the impossible as ordinary reality. Think about it. In a dream, you can teleport, breathe underwater, or meet someone who's no longer alive. Your brain fills in every detail, sound, touch, even temperature, without missing a beat. It's basically writing, directing, and starring in a high-budget simulation of your imagination. The transition back to reality when you wake up. There's a moment of confusion because your brain has to quickly switch operating systems. It goes from dream logic to real-world logic in a split second. That's why you sometimes wake up with your heart racing or sweating after a nightmare. Your body reacts as if the danger was real. And when you wake from a pleasant dream, like winning the lottery or reuniting with a loved one, it can leave a deep emotional impression. Your brain doesn't separate dream from real emotions. It processes both the same way. That's why even after you realize it was just a dream, the feeling lingers. Why dreams feel realer than reality sometimes. Here's a fun twist. In some cases, your dreams can feel more real than waking life. That's because your sensory inputs, like sight, sound, and touch, aren't being distracted by the outside world. Everything you perceive in a dream comes from pure imagination, focused entirely within your mind. Without any outside interference, your brain can create experiences so detailed that your waking senses struggle to tell them apart. In fact, brain scans show that when people dream about touching something, the somatosensory cortex, which processes touch, activates almost exactly like it does when you actually feel something. So when you dream you're holding someone's hand, your brain really thinks you are. So the next time you wake up from a dream that felt too real, remember it, because your brain uses the same tools to build your dream world that it uses to experience real life. In your mind, dreams are reality, at least for a little while. But here's a question for you. What's the most realistic dream you've ever had? And did you realize it was a dream while you were in it? Drop your answer in the comments. I'd love to see how wild your mind can get. Thanks for watching EDU and Vero, where science meets curiosity. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss another deep dive into the mysteries of your mind.